Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to the channel. I do appreciate it. So today I decided we're going to do another custom content video, and this time I'm going to do Amanda Waller versus Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing. Yep, we are going to use playing with Richard Community Dick Grayson. Okay, we can deal with this. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this setup for the main game. First, set up the B team and Zod Unleash modular decks aside. Create the Suicide Squad deck, shuffle it and put it next to the encounter deck, and put the Suicide Squad environment into play. Okay. So, these are the two encounter sets in question that will come into play later. This right here is the Suicide Squad deck, and over here is the Suicide Squad environment. Permanent setup at the forced interrupt at the start of the villain phase. See the Suicide Squad insert. Force response after minions defeated from the Suicide Squad deck. Place a defeat counter here. Okay. Now let's go over to the Suicide Squad insert. So basically, if there's no minion from the Suicide Squad deck in play, the first player reveals the top card of the Suicide Squad deck. Okay. Okay, did not notice this the last time I looked at it, but when defeated, each player draws 2 cards, flip this card, and each minion from the Suicide Squad deck gains Amplify. Alright. Well, let's just go ahead and, meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look at our guys. Richard Community Dick Grayson. Through recovery, impromptu planning. Choose a card in your discard pile and put it on top of your deck once per round. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle this up and see what we get. Alright, our toys are Double Cross, Batgirl, Bludhaven, Fluid Motion, Aggressive Energy, and Everyday Hero. Alright, so none of those are attack events, so Aggressive Energy is not needed. Everyday Hero is not really needed right now, and I don't think Fluid Motion's needed right now either, so get rid of those 3. Draw 3 more. The other 3 we have are dropping in, Fearless Freefall, and Strength. Alright, let's take a quick look. Oh, sorry, I should have flipped the scheme over to 1B. Alright. 1 threat to start, gains 1 threat per turn. If there are 3 or more schemes on there, when completed, if there are 3 or more defeat counters on the environment, advance to 2A. Otherwise, go to 3A. That's interesting. Okay. Alright, so I've drawn my 6 cards. I just want to take a very quick look at what his hero side does. I'm not flipping yet. Okay, spend a resource, I gain Aerial. If the resource is a wild, ready Nightwing. Okay. Acrobatic Assault. While you have Aerial trait, I get Retaliate 1. And he has 11 hit points. Alright, so let's see when the Suicide Squad comes into play. Alright, so if I'm reading this, excuse me. Alright, so it looks like they don't automatically come into play first turn, so I could swing on Amanda if I wanted to for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to spend 3 resources total to play Batgirl down. Alright, it's pausing out long enough so you can look and see what she does. Alright, so these get discarded. And we'll use his impromptu planning, choose a card in my discard pile, put it on top of my deck. I will do strength. Now he's going to flip to hero form. Yeah, I should have put Bludhaven into play, but okay. Oh no, this is fine. Alright, I'm going to use Double Cross as its resource to use the Flying Graysons ability. So Nightwing now has Aerial. Nightwing will use his other Bludhaven for 1 to use. Actually, before I do that, I'll have Aerial. Batgirl's going to exhaust and hit Amanda for 2. And so Nightwing still has Aerial. He's going to exhaust as well. Hit Amanda for 2 more. And I'll use Bludhaven for 1 to use dropping in. If you have Aerial, you may use it to increase the attack's damage by 2. I will not do that. I'll just straight draw the 2. Because I want to keep the retaliate. With any luck, okay. Everybody's done their business. We're going to straighten up. Draw back to his hand size of 5. New toys are Strength, Double Cross, Endurance, Acrobatic Act, and Raven. Okay. Alright, let's see. First of all, we get 1 on there. At the start of the villain phase, there is no minion. In the Suicide Squad deck, reveal the first minion of the Suicide Squad. And our first toy is Bloodsport. He gets Quick Strike. And he gets X where... Alright. So X is the number of friendly characters I control. I control 2. When his Quick Strike ability triggers, he gets another 1. Okay. Sorry, wrong button on there. Alright, and Waller's going to attack me for 1. Two, 3 damage. Okay, I will use Acrobatic Act, which is 1 resource, to play Double Cross. When you would take no damage, prevent 3 of that damage. If I take no damage from this, I took no damage, and have Aerial, I do, deal damage equal to that attack. There's a tag. to an enemy engaged with you. And we'll get involved later. Instead, I will... Oh, it's just to her attack. Okay. Alright, so 1 damage because of her attack, and 1 damage because it retaliates. Now her ability. When defeated, each player draws 2 cards. And then we flip her over. Alright. When she would attack, deal herself the top card of the encounter deck instead. Force response after a minion from the Suicide Squad deck is defeated. Remove 2 threat per player from the main scheme and flip her back. Okay. Alright, so that was Amanda's attack. Bloodsport's now going to attack me for... and 2 more. I'll take that hit for now. But he does get a retaliate because I still have aerial. And my bad card is Katana. Oh my goodness. Quick strike again. Alright, so I am going to have to heal next turn, but I want to see something very quickly. After an encounter from the Suicide Squad deck, so one of these are defeated, okay? Okay, now we'll drop 2. Actually, before I do that, I don't have aerial anymore. Okay, I don't care that much about aerial now, so I will use a... No, I will not. Before I do that, Nightwing will exhaust and attack. Yeah, he'll attack Katana. I'll put 2 damage on her. And as a response, I'm going to pay 1 resource to play... No, I can't. Because I have to be aerial in order to do that. Alright, then instead of doing it to Katana, I will do it to Bloodsport. And Batgirl will exhaust her to hit Bloodsport again. So he's got 4 health, so Bloodsport is dead. And Amanda Waller's Suicide Squad response after a minion from the deck's defeated. Remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And flip the card back. And forced response after I defeat a minion from the Suicide Squad deck. Put a defeat counter on here. Alright, I am going to use 1 resource to play Endurance, give myself some more health. And I will use 1, 2, 3 to play Raven down. When Raven leaves play, search my deck for a hero-specific character. Now I'm going to flip to Alter Ego. Use impromptu playing, take a card from my discard pile and put it on top of my deck. I'll do the strength. And Raven will go ahead and swing for 2 on Katana. Everybody will straighten and we'll draw up to 6. New toys are Strength, Genius, Everyday Hero, Dive Bomb, Natural Acrobat, and Domino Mask. After you remove the last threat from a scheme, exhaust this card. If you have Aerial, investigate. Otherwise, you gain Aerial to the end of the next round. I don't know what investigate is, so I'm going to go look at that for a moment. Give me a moment here, y'all. I will be right back. Alright, I am back, y'all. So I figured out what investigate is. Investigate basically means that, let's go back to the card in question. Alright, so I figured out what investigate means. So investigate basically means, for this scenario, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and you can discard one of them. Alright, let's go back to the main scheme. First of all, the start of the villain phase, we get another Suicide Squad minion. And this time we get Deadshot. His attacks gain range and cannot be defended by allies. Okay. Alright, so put 1 threat on here. Waller schemes for, oh god, for 2. Yep. He schemes for 2 plus 2 more. 6, 7, and 8. When completed, if there are 3 or more counters, defeat counters on the Suicide Squad environment, advance to 2A, otherwise advance to 3A. Alright, so that was completed. Also completed. Now 3A. Reveal the set-aside side scheme Zod Unleashed from the Zod Unleashed modular set. Shuffle the rest into the encounter deck. Okay. Come back in a minute. Alright. Zod Unleashed. You may use thwart or attack to remove threat from this scheme. Force response at the start of the villain turn. Each player chooses one, either 2 indirect damage or put 2 threat on the main scheme. Okay. Alright, the rest gets shuffled into here. Now we go to 3B. Alright, under new management. 14 threat, an extra encounter card every turn. If this scheme is completed, Waller, with Zod powers under control, manages to establish domain of the United States, the players lose the game. Okay. And now my 2 encounter cards. Because this came into play before the encounter card phase started, so I have to draw 2 now. The first bad card is Battlebound. Oh no. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Reveal that minion and place 2 threat here for each minion in play. Alright, so let's do the minion. No. Arg. And place 2 threat for each minion in play. There are 3, so total is 6 threat. And my second bad card is each player is dealt 3 indirect damage. So 1, 2, 3. Each villain is dealt 2 damage. forgot to reload her back out there, so she's at 8, but she takes 2 and goes to 6. Each minion is dealt 1 damage. If Zod Unleashed side scheme is in play, it is. Each player must discard an upgrade or support. Alright. I think Amanda's going to take over, but before she does... Alright, we're going to go 1 Everyday Hero. After I spend this card for a player, heal 1 damage from my identity, so I need that little bit of health. 1, 2, 3, 4. Domino Mask, I get +1 hand size, so maybe that'll do something good. Alright, we'll do 2. To play Natural Acrobat. Alright, flip to hero form. Oh no, before I flip to hero form, he's going to recover. Alright, so now Nightwing will flip to hero form. Alright, he will use the Flying Graysons ability, spend a resource to gain aerial, and it was not a wild card. Okay. Alright, let's pop you. Raven to deal 2 damage to Deadshot. Deadshot is dead. Raven takes 3rd consequence, so she's gone before she leaves. Search my deck for a hero-specific event and add it to my hand. Oh, nuts. I could have done dropping in to save myself a little something, but okay. Yeah, I guess I'll get Acrobatic Act, because there's nothing we can do on that end. Alright, Batgirl will exhaust to do more damage to Katana.
This shit been happening since the beginning.
So she's done. I forgot Deadshot should be in. Suicide Squad pile goes to 2. Alright, so you're gone, you're gone. Everybody straightens up. We'll draw to our new hand size of 6. New toys are Soaring Acrobatics, Wonder Girl, Aggressive Energy, Everyday Hero, Clobber, and Team Building Exercise. Alright, 2, 3, 4, 5. Waller schemes for 2 plus more. Oh joy. Killer Frost schemes for 2. Oh, and I forgot, there's no minion from the Suicide Squad deck. So this comes into play. So Rick Flag would also scheme for 2. And forces Montaft reactivates. Each player discards 1 card from the top of their deck for each minion engaged with them. So I have 2, 1, and 2. Oh joy, imagine that. Card I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna try 1 and 2 to play Clobber. Aggressive energy brings that up to 3 damage to 4. So Flag is out. And because that was the first card I played, return it to my hand. Grayson will exhaust for 2. Not that they'll do any good, but we'll at least do it. So 1, 2, and 3 for Wonder Girl.
Satellite? Yeah, in that little parking lot.
Oh joy, so there is nothing I can do. I'm going to lose this turn either way we look at it. So exhaust for 2. At least, and go from there. Everybody will straighten. We'll draw 6. New toys are High Flying Fighter, Eskrima Sticks, Fearless Freefall, Audacity, Combat Training, and Acrobatic Act. That would have been a great card to have had I not lost due to threat. So, next turn to 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, 16. The threshold to complete is 14. So Amanda Waller has taken over the United States and we have lost the game. Alright, well since we have lost either way, let me at least show you the rest of the Suicide Squad that we had to deal with. So, and it could have dealt with Harley Quinn. When she would scheme, you take damage. And when she would attack, you place threat on the scheme instead. Stats. Killer Croc. After Killer Croc defeats an ally, heal damage from him equal to the ally's hit points. If no damage was healed, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Ooh, lordy. Jump blocking against him is a terrible idea. And we have Captain Boomerang. After Captain Boomerang attacks, return the highest cost upgrade you control to your hand. Ick. Not great. But that was fun, even though I just got bum rushed by threat because of the main scheme's ability to let you skip a whole nother step. On there. Okay, yep. that did do it for me, so that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Either way, guys, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out with me today. I do greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.